Today our topic is Marcus Aurelius' most powerful quotes. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. His writings, collected in a book called Meditations, are full of wisdom about life, resilience, and how to live with purpose. His words are still powerful today because they teach us how to face challenges, control our emotions, and find peace in a chaotic world. Let's explore some of his most powerful quotes and what they mean for us in our daily lives. One of the most famous quotes from Marcus Aurelius is, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This quote is a reminder that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we react to it. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes things don't go the way we want. But instead of getting upset or frustrated, we should focus on our own thoughts and actions. For example, if you lose your job, you can't change that fact, but you can choose how to respond. You can feel sorry for yourself, or you can see it as an opportunity to find something better. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that true strength comes from within, not from the things around us. Another powerful quote is, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that if you think positively, you will feel happier. On the other hand, if you think negatively, you will feel worse. Our thoughts shape our reality. If you wake up in the morning and think, "Today is going to be a bad day," it probably will be. But if you think, "Today is a new day, and I will make the best of it," you are more likely to have a good day. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to pay attention to our thoughts and to focus on the good things in life. Even in difficult times, we can find something to be grateful for. Marcus Aurelius also said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one." This quote is about action, not just words. It's easy to talk about being kind, honest, or brave, but it's much harder to actually do it. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to stop wasting time and start living by our values. If you want to be a good person, you need to act like one. For example, instead of just saying you care about the environment, you can start recycling or using less plastic. Instead of saying you want to help others, you can volunteer or give to charity. Actions speak louder than words, and Marcus Aurelius reminds us to live with integrity. Another important quote is, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This means that when someone hurts us, we should not try to hurt them back. Instead, we should rise above the situation and act with kindness and dignity. Revenge might feel good in the moment, but it usually makes things worse. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to focus on being the best version of ourselves, even when others treat us badly. For example, if someone spreads rumors about you, instead of spreading rumors about them, you can choose to ignore it and move on. By doing this, you show that you are stronger and more mature than the person who hurt you. Marcus Aurelius also said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." This quote is about acceptance and love. Life doesn't always go the way we want, but we can still find joy in it. We can't choose our family or the circumstances we are born into, but we can choose to love and appreciate the people around us. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to embrace life as it is, and to give our best to the people we care about. For example, if you have a difficult family member, instead of focusing on their flaws, you can try to understand them and show them love. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they do, but it means you can choose to be kind and patient. Another powerful quote is, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." This means that our thoughts shape who we are. If we think positive, kind, and hopeful thoughts, we will become a positive, kind, and hopeful person. But if we think negative, angry, or jealous thoughts, we will become a negative, angry, or jealous person. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to be careful about what we think, because our thoughts have a big impact on our lives. For example, if you constantly think about how unfair life is, you will feel bitter and unhappy. But if you focus on the good things in your life, you will feel more content and at peace. Marcus Aurelius also said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." This quote is about honesty and integrity. It's easy to lie or do something wrong, especially when we think no one is watching. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us to always do the right thing, even when it's hard. For example, if you see someone drop their wallet, you might be tempted to keep it. But Marcus Aurelius would say that you should return it because it's the right thing to do. Similarly, if someone asks for your opinion, you should be honest but kind. This quote teaches us to live with honor and to always be true to ourselves. Another important quote is, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This quote is about gratitude. Every day is a gift, and we should be thankful for it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to start each day with a positive attitude and to appreciate the simple things in life. For example, instead of complaining about having to go to work, you can think about how lucky you are to have a job and to be able to provide for yourself and your family. By focusing on the good things, we can find happiness even in ordinary moments. Marcus Aurelius also said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This quote is about turning obstacles into opportunities. When we face challenges, we can either give up or use them to grow stronger. Marcus Aurelius teaches us to see problems as a chance to improve ourselves. For example, if you fail a test, instead of feeling defeated, you can study harder and do better next time. If you lose a game, you can practice more and become a better player. This quote reminds us that every difficulty is an opportunity to learn and grow. Another powerful quote is, "Death smiles at us all. All we can do is smile back." This quote is about accepting the inevitable. Death is a part of life, and we cannot avoid it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to live fully and not to fear the end. Instead of worrying about death, we should focus on making the most of the time we have. For example, instead of putting off your dreams, you can start working toward them today. This quote teaches us to live with courage and to embrace life with all its ups and downs. Marcus Aurelius also said, "The art of living is more like wrestling than dancing." This quote is about the challenges of life. Life is not always easy or beautiful. Sometimes it's hard and messy. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us that we can still find meaning and joy in the struggle. For example, if you are going through a tough time, instead of giving up, you can keep fighting and find strength in the process. This quote teaches us to be resilient and to keep going, even when life is difficult. Finally, Marcus Aurelius said, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." This quote is about the constant change in life and the power of our thoughts. Everything around us is always changing, and we cannot control that. But we can control how we think about it. Marcus Aurelius reminds us to adapt to change and to focus on the positive. For example, if you lose something important, instead of feeling sad, you can think about what you still have and be grateful. This quote teaches us to be flexible and to find peace in the midst of change. In conclusion, Marcus Aurelius' quotes are full of wisdom that can help us live better lives. He teaches us to focus on what we can control, to think positively, to act with integrity, and to embrace life's challenges. His words remind us that true strength comes from within, and that we can find happiness by living with purpose and gratitude. By following his advice, we can become more resilient, kind, and peaceful, no matter what life throws at us.